Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Joko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for always choosing UBC TV, always here to inspire you. If you've been with us since the start, thank you so much. Good morning. And if you are just joining in, you're welcome to the show. It is Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie Nantaba Musisi, and today on The Rail, we are having a conversation regarding NRM primaries, which are kicking off on the 17th of July. And the strategy this time around is that it will be joint campaigning for party primaries with the candidates. Well, we've so far seen what it could look like, and so far in a few places we've seen a lot of chaos, havoc, and in some cases lives being lost as well as property being destroyed. But the Electoral Commission chairperson of the NRM party stated that a few places cannot deter 529 village constituencies that have so far had their campaigns going on, and nothing is really alarming. And as Ugandans, because this is quite new, we try to understand it so that we participate better whilst understanding what is being brought to us. Now, in studio to do that and to help us understand that is the Deputy RCC Jinja City South Division, that is Ninsima Gachbayo, who is soon becoming a co-host of the show. And that is the Assistant RCC, pardon me on that, the Assistant RCC of Jinja City South Division. Good morning, Ninsima.
A very good morning to you, my sister Judy.
You are soon becoming a co-host.
No, I'm not.
you cannot do the show. You could be the one now interviewing me.
No, I want to greet everybody who is on Good Morning. On Good Morning Uganda.
Right.
This very show. I congratulate everybody who has got something good this morning, and also take the opportunity to pass my condolences and sympathies to those who have got challenges and those who have lost their dear ones. May the good Lord strengthen you in the difficult time you are going through. I wish you a blessed discussion.
Indeed, thank you so much for coming through, and you are very welcome indeed. Meanwhile, if you have a question or an opinion to share, 0709-602592. And we'll start off, Ninsima, with the context of the NRM party and party structures. How do you define joint campaigns?
Well, thank you very much. The joint campaigns, this is a strategy of the NRM Electoral Commission that this time around, as we gear up for the NRM primary elections, the campaigns should be joint. Those were the 2025 NRM party election regulations.
Right.
And we have seen them in the 529 constituencies, as you mentioned earlier. And in some places, Actually, most of the places, the joint campaigns have gone on very well. We have not encountered any kind of challenges. And even where I come from, Jinja City, the situation is calm, and there is no cause of alarm as we talk now. So I want to congratulate those who have managed to carry on the peaceful campaigns, and we are greatly set for the 17th July. It is now Thursday, because today is a Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, then the Thursday. That is when we have the voting. That is when we expect the results to come out. So I want to congratulate those who have participated in the campaigns, in the joint campaigns peacefully, but also condemn those who have been violent and those who wish to be violent, that we are not going to allow the violent exercises, and especially those individuals who have their personal interests to disorganize the peaceful election.
Right.
Yes, that is what I have to tell them.
Right. Could you paint a picture for someone who hasn't been a part of any of the rallies yet but is looking forward to engaging? What a joint campaign is like practically? Is it two candidates at one rally, each of them speaking their manifesto, speaking to the electorate, or is it two candidates in probably two different areas but of the same location campaigning? What does it look like practically?
Yeah, Judy, you know very well that these joint campaigns, they are, we call the candidates, and they come on the gazetted place, or where we wish the rally to take place. And when they come, well, we give them time, or they are given time in accordance with their numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3, like that. The candidates, according to the number of candidates we have, or you have in an area. And then number 1 begins. After speaking to the people, the other one comes also as number 2, number 3, like that. So that's how we have been managing them, or to see the joint campaigns where we have seen them coming up. And well, from where I have monitored, and with the team in Jinja, South Division, and the city, the campaigns have been calm. They have gone on very well. There has not been any kind of violence or voter intimidation or anything that can disregard the exercise. So we have moved on in a peaceful way. Yes.
Let's look at the guidelines indeed as governed by the NRM party. Are there any official guidelines that govern how the joint campaigns should flow?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the NRM Electoral Commission came up with the guidelines, the NRM the NRM party election guidelines of 2025.
Right.
And the registrars, the district registrars, and the team of the NRM election officials have always given these guidelines to the candidates, and they have even held a number of meetings to sensitize them on the do's and the don'ts. And it is the same that we have echoed on, and we are still echoing on, that let's observe the guidelines and move as per the guidelines, because the main aim is to maintain peace. We don't expect people to be violent. We don't expect them to use the uncalled for behaviors. Otherwise, those who wish to do the same, they are likely to face arrest and prosecution. Right. Because these are the guidelines that were given by the NRM electoral party officials. So we expect them to be observed in a peaceful way. Yes.
And what role exactly does your office play, for example, in making sure that these guidelines are followed and are governing the process?
Yeah, you know very well that the RDCs, the deputy RDCs, the deputy RCCs, the assistant RDCs and RCCs, their role is to maintain or to see that security is maintained. Because as being the chairpersons of security in our areas of jurisdiction, this is where we come up and tell tell candidates or tell those who wish to participate in the NRM primaries, party primaries elections of this Thursday, is that we have to maintain peace and make sure that violence is nowhere, or we will not tolerate any kind of violence under any circumstances. Right. So we are in touch with all the other security agencies in our areas of jurisdiction to see that we implement this as a team. So that's where I have to come up and tell whoever is seeing, whoever is watching us on Good Morning Uganda show, especially on this national broadcaster, that we should be very supportive and ready to maintain peace. Yes, because voting is a constitutional right, and so we expect that as you are voting, you must also observe and respect the rights and freedoms of the others as they are also carrying on the voting.
Right. You are watching UBC TV. It's Good Morning Uganda, and this morning on the rail we're trying to understand joint campaigns in party primaries, and that is in particular for NRM primaries. And to do that with us, to help us understand that, is Deputy Assistant RCC Jinja City South Division, Ninsima Gachvayo. So make sure that you share your opinion or ask your question so that we are able to engage it while we still have the time. Let's look a bit into some of the havoc we've seen due to the primaries. Where do you think the ball was dropped? What happened?
Well, as we gear up for these primary elections of the NRM, there are some places, and you have done us very well, you the media, especially covering and bringing these areas where havoc has been, the infights. Even there are places where we have lost lives. Right. So we have continuously condemned the same, and we are still condemning all forms of violence, and we are still arguing to all Ugandans that we need these elections to be carried on in a peaceful way. We don't need, or we don't want to see the kind of forms of people losing lives like it has been in some other places. But I'm sure the police and the other sister security agencies are doing whatever it takes to see that we carry on, or we have a peaceful exercise come this Thursday. Right. The joint security forces, the joint intelligence agencies, they are also doing the same to see that we don't see any kind of havoc like we have mentioned, or like in places where it has always been surfacing. Yes. And
with indeed, like we've shared that with what happened, we saw lives being lost, we saw property being destroyed, and many of the candidates had advised that this idea of joint campaigns should be put to a halt or should not be embraced anyways. But the EC chairperson of the NRM insisted that joint campaigns is the strategy that the party is moving forward with. Why do you think the NRM is embracing this type of strategy for primary campaigns?
You see, from the word go, NRM has always been built on peace. Right. Yes, even the NRA, NRM, when they convened in Kaumu and Kanyanda in 1984 to bring out the 10 points program. The second point was about, that is, peace and security. And so we have maintained the same as the NRM party that is built on peace. So when we organize the joint campaigns, we are trying to show that election is not a do or die. An election exercise is not a do or die, but rather an aim of peace, an aim of bringing that kind of collegiality. We should not be enemies in whatsoever, because this is a party, this is an election of people within the same party. So we cannot expect, or we don't expect any kind of violence or contrary to that. So that's why we really have to thank the Electoral Commission of the NRM for organizing these joint campaigns to see that we promote the peace, we promote the core values of the party as we gear out, or as we come up for these elections of the Thursday.
All right.
Yes.
And given that indeed we are all looking forward to Thursday, all cameras will be on what Thursday will start like. What strategies, outline some of the strategies that have been put in place to make sure that what we've seen so far in areas where havoc has been caused does not take place from Thursday moving forward?
Yeah, the Electoral Commission of the NRM has identified those places where the violence or the havoc is likely to happen, and they have engaged with the candidates, with the other stakeholders. They have engaged them. The other day I even saw the IGP moving within those areas where the havoc is expected, or they think there might be some havoc, and they have talked to these people. So I think what these people are supposed to do is to adhere to what the security personnel and agencies have told them to do, and also the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of the NRM. And for us in Jinja, we have held quite a number of meetings. The other day, on 11th, we held a meeting in Jinja City Hall as security and the other personnel and the agencies to see a way forward. How best can we maintain the joint campaigns in a peaceful manner? And Wednesday, that is the, prior to the voting of the Thursday, on Wednesday we shall also have another joint security meeting in Jinja to see that how to bring out the other core principle of maintaining peace, and as we gear out for the Thursday elections.
Right. Let's look at what the NRM is hoping to achieve, especially on the side of the electorate. Do you think, in your perspective, that joint campaigns help the electorate be better informed, or rather leave them more confused? Which of the two do you think they serve the best?
No, like I've told you, this is a party strategy.
Right.
And the aim is that to bring out the core values of a peaceful election, and I believe the joint campaigns is a good strategy that has been brought by the party, the NRM party, and we don't expect people to abuse the same. Yes, once it is handled in an expected way, we expect to have the results and a transparent kind of exercise. Right. So I really want to thank the NRM officials. I want to thank the SEC. I want to thank the national chairman of the party, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for this kind of support and guidance that the party should greatly hold or carry on the joint campaigns. Yes.
Now let's look at the side of the candidates. Do you think this strategy actually promotes party cohesion, or it could promote a bit of constraint between candidates?
No, first of all, it is less costly.
Right.
Yeah, because when you have the joint campaigns, candidates come and then they find there already the electorates are waiting for their message. Somebody speaks and leaves the campaigning ground. And another one comes up, another one comes up. So it is, to me, I see it as less costly than the other tiresome exercise where you have to travel from here, you go to another one, you are using your public system, you are using a lot of money, but this strategy is a good one, my sister Julie and the viewers, and it has minimized also on the time. It has minimized on the time. We have, you know, the joint campaigns have only taken like 2 weeks. Yes. 2 weeks. So and they have the candidates have covered all the areas that they have been moving in. So it is a good strategy and than the other exercises we have been going through.
Right, and if from what the picture you've painted, it looks like it also deters candidates from having to splash cash handouts from that campaigning grounds, because I mean, when you're campaigning with your opponent in that moment, I'm not so sure how practical or how it makes sense for you to have a cash handout in the name of campaigns. No,
from the word go, we have always condemned the commercialization of politics. You see, leadership is a calling,
right? And
you only have to get the ability to inspire and lead others. We don't expect you to splash money or to use money that you want to get that kind of position. No, I think that has been a condemned exercise from the word go, and we still condemn the same.
Right.
Yes.
Let's look at the mobilization strategy for the electorate. How are they being informed about this type of campaigns, how to gather to actually be spoken to by the candidates? What's the communication and mobilization strategy like on ground?
Yeah, well, that has always been the mandate of the NRM Electoral Commission through the officials, like the district election officials and the registrars, to orient and sensitize the candidates on how best these campaigns are supposed to be moved on. And they have always done the same. And for us, as the office of the president, as the RDCs and the RCCs, our role is or has been to monitor, to see that there is peace, to see that we don't have any kind of violence. And I think they have done it in a very good way from the areas I have monitored, and we don't have any kind of challenge as we talk now. Yes. 0706602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage, and in case you haven't grasped it, it is on your screen displayed. Save it and share your WhatsApp, your question or opinion via WhatsApp, and speak to Gachibayo Ninsima, who is the Assistant Deputy RCC for Jinja City South Division. He is here in studio with us to help us understand the issue of joint campaign for party primaries, and in particular for the NRM. Let's use Jinja South Division as your scope and as an example from what you've seen on ground in your experience. What challenges, aside from the chaos we've seen from the general campaigns that have taken place in different areas, what challenges have you faced with joint campaigns? Well, for us, we have not faced a lot of challenges because we have had quite a number of engagements with the candidates in meetings and talking to them. The only thing maybe I've heard from the candidates or them approaching me or even telling me is the time, the duration. They say the 2 weeks campaign duration, some of them is not enough because you may find some places are too many, the constituency is big for somebody to cover or give the message to the electorates. And some of them have been saying that no, time has been limited. But of course, we expected that, because NRM is a mass party that has a great kind of members. And so when you are complaining about the duration, I think you should always plan and see that you have done your part in the shortest time given. Yeah, I think that's it. And there has not been any other great challenge in Jinja.
Right.
Yes, I want to thank the police, led by the regional police commander, that is SSP Charles Nsaba. I want to thank the RCCs, led by Richard Gurume Balieno, and all the other stakeholders who have been closely monitoring and coming up on board to see that we carry on the exercise in a peaceful way. Right.
This conversation is coming to a close, but within a minute that we have, you could have an opinion to share. Share it 0709602592 and ask Nisima Gachibayo, who is the Deputy RCC Jinja City South Division, what would be your parting shots, especially as we look forward to 17th?
Yes, my parting shot as we look forward to 17th, that is Thursday this week, as we gear up for the party primaries elections, is peace. I want to tell everybody to maintain peace. We shall not allow any kind of or any form of violence. It will not be tolerated anywhere. So I want to tell you or encourage you to keep that in mind, that we should maintain peace and let this exercise be a peaceful one. Maybe, Judy, you allow me as I close to do the same in Rusoga, so that our people in Jinja and Rusoga sub-region can also get to know that I have represented them on Good Morning Uganda here this very morning, and especially on the national broadcaster. Then abasoga mwena n'abantu beidinda nienda kubasaba nga tuli kujja mu bululu obw'olwokuna obwa NRM party primary. Ndi basaba emirembe, mukume emirembe, mube baikikamu, tutwenda abantu mwena okwida mukola akavuyo ku station dona oba mu polling station. Ndi bakubirisa emirembe, okukuuma emirembe mwena onaona we tuli kujja, tuli kwenda emirembe abasoga mwena.
All right. And on that note, let me close this conversation with your comments that have just come through. Good morning, UBC. This is Isaac Wanzala Aizo in West Nile. Yes, joint campaigns are less costly and time-saving, but there's a scenario where supporters didn't allow other candidates to talk because they don't support him or her. Electorate start to shout and abuse each other, doing negative gestures towards candidates, and also it results into some fights amongst themselves, so that the system is a two-way analyzed system. This is Isaac Wanzala's opinion. And Mark Morgan Kalibala from Bale, you say, I do agree with the Deputy RCC. A joint campaign for all NRM parties is the way to go. Thank you so much for being on the show. It is Good Morning Uganda, and that's been it for our conversation on The Rail. Up next is GMU Tourism Express. We do have the agenda, we do have sports, so a lot is still in store for you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Maskari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvesters in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is the problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The government's commanded is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of the roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the Front Bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
Why do you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers? You bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport. If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Good morning, and once again, thank you for joining us on UBC. We are bringing you a very unique experience under the theme I Am My Culture. We are just on bonfire. You should be wondering why it is the bonfire and not campfire. We are not camping but bonding. We are going to be learning about the Southwestern culture, and with me is Mr. Joshua, who is going to let us know about who Nyabingi was. I suppose you have heard about her, and we're going to also understand how the Bachiga get to relate, who are the Bachiga, and so many other people that lie within this particular region. Yes, so Mr. Joshua, our viewers are wondering, why are we seated in the rain with bonfire just before us? How does this relate in culture?
Like I collected you before, and like I've collected every people who come to visit us, they always call it campfire instead of calling it bonfire, because bonfire has a lot of when people are camping, like you Zaki, things that when you go camping, you can light up your fire, have your own roasted maize or Irishes, take them back. Bonfire means bondage, like our ancestors, our great grandfathers, when they used to meet to sit as a family, as a clan, they used to sit in a echkome, Muruchiga. For the sake of our listeners, Muruchiga, echkome. Echkome could bring them together, and they could plan from that echkome, from that bonfire. And from that bonfire, they could share, exchange knowledge. And then, when they could be seated, like the head of the clan, Mukuru Wechika, Muruchiga Gwit, could come, tell them the stories, tell them where we've come from, where we are going, plan from there, teach us discipline, say do's and don'ts from Echkome. And then the wife could be there to serve Obushera and Tagatira for those gentlemen who are taking it. So, bonfire, up to date, we still do it to bind that bondage, to meditate and to share ideas, to exchange ideas with our families and with some people from abroad.
Yes, you did talk about rain being a blessing, and you said bonfire back then used to happen anytime, because I was wondering, I mean, was it happening as early as this morning? And you said yes, it used to happen anytime. Yes, and we've heard about this woman called Nyabingi, who comes from this particular region. What is her storyline like?
Nyabingi was the name Nyabingi from Ruchiga. It's self-explanatory. It means Nyabingi. I have plenty. So, in the year 1900, Nyabingi was there in Chigezi. She used to live in the hills of Chigezi here in Kagarama. She had plenty. Akabaine Bingi. Araha, she had food, shelter, she could share, and everyone bakabara kweta kushaka. Mola mawaza mukatari kushaka, but for her, niwe bashaka go away. So, they reached a time that people started praising her, calling her God, God, God. Because when they had no food, they could go, she feeds them, she does great things to them. When they are sick, she gives them medicine. So they called her Nyinabinji, meaning I have a lot and to share with our community. So when the collaborators, that was Kabaka, that was Mutesa One, when Mutesa One heard about Nyinabinji and the British collaborators, they staged the Nyinabinji rebellion. So, when they heard that there is a woman who has power in Chigezi, she's feeding people, she's doing what, they came. And then Nyinabinji had, like, when you're rich, you have bodyguards, you have people who are on your side. So she had strong people. One of them was called Minyaruko wa Nyamichenche. Minyaruko wa Nyamichenche, Muruchiga Gwitu, echigambo kunyaruka, chiramanyisa, like disappearing. So Nyinabinji could send Minyaruko wa Nyamichenche. Minyaruko wa Nyamichenche was a messenger, and very fast. When the Mutesa ones came, because you know Chigezi and Nyinabinji, they had like supernatural powers. She was not just a woman, she had supernatural powers. She was blessed from God, from Kaikuguru, and then when they came to fight her, she could disappear. They could attack, because the collaborators came with guns. The British had given them guns to come and attack Nina Binji. And up to now, Nina Binji, the whereabouts of her, they are in the Museum of London, in Ochibiri, they are in the Museum of London after they attacked her and defeated her because they used guns. And for Nina Binji, she told the people, like, you know, the Maji Maji rebellion, she brainwashed the people that if they shoot you, you cannot die. And then they shoot people and people died. When they could shoot people, they say, she told us we cannot die. Yet they died. So after they attacked her from Kagarama, they took her to Uganda. And then after they executed her, up to now, they don't know how she died, and her death is not clear.
And they have her remains.
Yeah, they are in the London Museum, up to date.
Now, when we come back to Bachiga, as the Bachiga, how are their ways of living? Who are they?
The Bachiga for us, we are believed to have come from Rwanda, just our neighbors from Uganda. Before the partition and scramble of Africa, we had King Chijeli. King Chijeli could move around.
Sorry to cut you short. You say King Chijeli, is he the king of Bachiga then? Was he the king of Bachiga then?
Yes. When King Chijeli came on Mugabe, akija n'abeye. Abeye, they were 7 clans. Nimwe harimu, we find there Abachiga, and in the Bachiga, in Uganda, we have where we lie. Nibo Rashanga, Musiji, Omwinika, nibo ba Kasiji, nibo ba Kahimba, Abahimba. Before nibo ba Mpambara, Batembandeje. You do know that Abinika, the first people to board the plane were from here.
Wow.
From here, from Chigezi. The first people to board the plane in Uganda were from Chigezi. That's why we see we have Uganda Gwabatembandeje. Then, when they reached here, they started conquering territories, conquered the Bata, because the Bata had lived here over 1,000 years before the coming of the Bachiga. When the Bachiga came here, they started fighting them. So, when the battle rose up, when the battle began, the battle could not allow the Bachiga to take over their land, and the Bachiga wanted to conquer their land. So they started fighting with bows and arrows and spears. On Sigwe Island, when you go there, so they decided to cut the land. That's what made it an island. This part belongs to the Bachiga, and the other part belongs to the what? To the Batwa. So they gave the Chisigwe Island to the Batwa. Then the mainland to the Bachiga. Because the Batwa were small and scattered. The Batwa was there from 1875 to 18. They were close to 19. So the Bachiga produced many children, became very strong. So they attacked the Batwa. The Batwa decided to run away from here. That's why you see the Batwa up to date are living on the shores and Ichia forest, because Ichia forest, because the Bachiga kept on pushing them away. So the Bachiga conquered this land called Kabale. Because when they sent them away, the government sat and said this land belonged to the Batwa. They went to the process, procurement, and then they said for the Batwa, we have given you this small land, Ichia, and here on the shores of Lake Bunyonyi.
place called Nyombe. That's where they are staying up to date. But they stay in the same community with the Bachiga. They live with them. They have intermarried with them.
Wow, it's been interesting stories. Of course, while bonding and fire, and with us is the Miss Tourism Southwestern contestants that are also a part of this show that are getting to learn about their culture as they prepare to represent their region on the national stage in regards to promoting tourism and culture. That was it from the Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. Please stick around. We are still on Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
From that moment of a bonfire with JMU Tourism Express, time for JMU Business with Julie Nataba Musisi. And we are starting off with cement and concrete. Indeed, sometimes I wonder what Uganda would be like if houses were constructed in anything that is not brick and mortar. But the Global Cement and Concrete Association, based in Switzerland, has drafted a roadmap aimed at reducing carbon emissions by cement and concrete producers. In Uganda, the Ministry of Water and Environment, cement and concrete manufacturers and the private sector are being engaged to discuss the roadmap and technologies that can be employed to reduce the carbon emissions. The process of manufacturing cement produces carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. The carbon dioxide emission stems from both the chemical process of producing cement and the energy-intensive methods used in the production. Greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to global warming and climate change. Now, the Global Cement and Concrete Association of Switzerland has drafted a roadmap to reduce carbon emissions by cement and concrete producers. In Uganda, the Ministry of Water and Environment, cement and concrete manufacturers, and the private sector are discussing the roadmap and technologies that reduce carbon emissions. Stakeholders also need more investment in research for technologies used in the manufacture of cement to regulate carbon emissions. However, the cement manufacturers are concerned about the investment in new technologies. Now, the EU's retaliatory tariffs on U.S. exports have been delayed again. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has announced the countermeasures, which were due to start on Tuesday, came in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's initial import taxes on steel and aluminium. The EU's retaliation, which would have hit 21 billion euros worth of U.S. goods, was first suspended in March. This break has been extended until early August. Von der Leyen told a press conference on Sunday. EU trade ministers are expected to meet in Brussels on Monday to discuss how to respond. It comes after Trump wrote a letter to von der Leyen announcing his plans to impose 30% tariffs on EU imports from 1st August. He warned that if the trade partner retaliated with import duties on their own against the U.S., he would hit back by raising tariffs above 30%. In a pre-recorded interview with Fox News, which aired on Saturday night, Trump said some countries were very upset now, but he insisted the tariffs meant hundreds of billions of dollars were pouring in. Von der Leyen told journalists on Sunday, the United States has sent us a letter with measures that could come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures until early August. Well, that is what we have for the business roundup today, but let's have a look at what is with the forex rates as of 11th July 2025. The US dollar opened at 3,578.68 buying and was selling at 3,588.68. By midday, it was buying at 3,578.64 and selling at 3,588.64 and closed in at a drop of 3,578.05 and selling at 3,588.05. And the British pound was buying at 4,848.97 and selling at 4,862.52. The euro was buying at 4,177.73 and selling at 4,189.40. The Kenyan shilling was buying at 27.69 and selling at 27.77. And the Tanzanian shilling buying at 1.36 and selling at the same. And the South African rand was buying at 201.37 and selling at 201.94. Well, that brings us to the end of what we have in business today. But Good Morning Uganda does continue, and we have the agenda. We continue the conversation on the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company having to explain service disruptions. Last we had them, your comments and questions were many, but time was not on our side. Today we bring John and Kiza back to speak with us. So share your opinions, ask your questions, 0709602592, starting now, whilst we still have the window for them to be answered. Good morning, Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
This August, Africa gathers again. The passion, the pride, the beautiful game. It's CHAN 2025. And the heart of the action, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa stands ready. Not just with a world-class stadium, but with open arms for every African nation. Nambole and its floodlights are already welcoming. From Kampala to Karamoja, our stadium is set. The pitch is perfect, the stage is built, and the spirit of Uganda is unmatched. Come feel the rhythm, taste the warmth, and witness hospitality like no other. Uganda welcomes all of Africa for a CHAN like never before. CHAN 2025, unity, passion, victory, and it's all happening right here in Uganda. Don't just watch history, be part of it.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends friends to form a team of 4 and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
The 4th acre for food, cassava. The good thing is that now